not ready to go yet, okay? I'm not ready. You gotta wait. I got shit to do. I'm in the middle of something, all right? Just hold on.
Watch your mouth or don't come in here.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah, people, come on, we're adults here. You know what? What is the point?
Yeah, we're adults here. I got a fucking Burger King fucking thing on my head. We're all fucking adults here, guys. People in my chat, 2 words. What are they? 2 words. Let me see the chat flood. Let me see the chat flood. 2 words. Okay, next caller. Please. Let's get into the meat and potatoes, which translate in American to dick and balls.
I got flip-flops. These are my flip-flops. Yeah, I really like my flip-flops because I can put them on. Because look, watch me put them on. I can put them on all by myself. Watch me put them on. Look, are you watching? Look, these are my flip-flops.
Thanksgiving Day. I remember it clearly. It was Thanksgiving Day. I was inserting myself in somebody else's fucking business as a cash grab, and you know. This channel is harsh reality.
Karen Yak se jodió la sucia vida. Amen.
This is Jonathan Lee Riches. I have cheeseburgers. I'm gonna put cheese on them. I'm gonna make sure that I have my hamburgers because I'm a big boy now and I can make the hamburgers. My mom lets me use the stove now.
And I'm just like, wow, I like receipts, and they brought receipts. Like they had evidence to back up everything they said. And I'm like, okay, well, there's got to be another side to this, right? Like this can't. No, this is too fantastic.
Yeah, because you're not going to just jump to the conclusion that there's a conspiracy amongst cops to cover up a murder. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean cops and just like soccer moms and shit. Like that's what made it even crazier. Like,
yeah, get it, Betty. Yeah,
did you have a close relationship with your mom?
Get it, Betty.
Oh, of course, I still do.
Yeah.
My older sister was kind of sad. She was more of the prissy girl, like
that is the best shit fucking
shopping
ever.
for dresses with mommy. I was the tomboy that liked playing with the
Shout out to Cherry for just being easily the most faithful and loyal supporter that I've ever had, man. That someone could have that tenacity with loyalty. And I'm really blessed to have someone like Cherry be part of this channel and in my life. So it means a lot. And yes, I named him after Mr. T and Rocky. Say, woman. Say, woman. Say, woman. Since your old man ain't got no heart, why don't you come down to my apartment tonight and I'll show you a real man. Oh my God, I'm so in love with this little dude. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this one up. I love you guys very, 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 very much. And we will do this again very soon, my friends. Oh, say bye. Say bye. Oh, I love you too. Give me a kiss. Oh, I love you. Bye, guys. Woo! Good afternoon, my friends. It is just now in the afternoon. It's good to see you guys. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody's having a good beginning of their week. I know that I am. Yeah, man, we're going to go over a few things. Interesting stuff, man. First off, before I do anything, I got to give a shout out to my man, Aiden Carney, aka Turtle Boy, for and my man the mighty Mark Betterow for having a fantastic, amazing interview and conversation with Paula Prado. She is absolutely fantastic. She is juror number 11, and she is exactly what anyone who believes in our American justice system and what our forefathers had in mind for it, anyone who truly believes this and is in any way passionate about this, looks at Paula extremely proudly. It's ironic because she's getting all of this hate, right? She's getting all of this hate all over X and Twitter, right? And it's like racist. It's crazy. They're like, oh, an immigrant, blah, 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 blah. She can barely talk. Dude, listen, let me explain something to you. I'm going to explain a couple things to you. Okay. And John only fails to beepy. John only fails to beepy is trash talking this woman. And it's the craziest thing because I can't think of anyone that I felt more proud of. I mean, this whole thing boils down to a jury, right? And when someone who comes to this country, who was an attorney in the country she's from, Brazil, comes to this country and just understands right from wrong. And we have been sitting here going, oh my God. And we didn't have a lot of faith because of Ronnie. Because the fact is, okay, maybe Ronnie's a nice guy. Fine. But he was a shit juror. And I'm going to die on that hill too. He was a shit juror. This person was an amazing juror, exactly what any attorney, anybody who believes in our justice system would want on a jury. You want 12 of them. Absolutely. She was fantastic. She caught everything of note she caught. And it's ironic because I'll tell you, anybody trash talking this woman on X or any other platform who's trash talking this woman and making fun of her because she migrated here from another country. Well, I'll tell you, she's more American than all of you shit fucks combined. I'll tell you that right now. Easily. Because all of you shit fucks constantly supported the justice system railroading an innocent woman. There's just no escaping that. The facts dictate this. The facts dictate that you would prefer to live under a dictatorship. And that is just how it is. So this Paula, juror number 11, is arguably the best thing to happen to this case, simply because she knew what American values meant to her, and she looked at the evidence and did so objectively, didn't pay attention to any noise, simply focused on the evidence, focused on the burden of proof, which was on the Commonwealth, and simply concluded that the Commonwealth failed to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Karen Reed struck John O'Keefe with her vehicle, or even that she had any intention to. It's just that simple. It's not difficult. It doesn't take a degree from the Glare Institute of Law and stuff. This is not necessary. Anyone can put this together. Reasonable doubt is reasonable doubt. And Brennan's case was littered with it. Lally's case was littered with it. Now, Hank, hashtag Spanky, Brennan, he released a statement here. Why won't it give me the option to do that? Excuse me. There we go. Okay, cool. All right, so nice of you to join us, Cherry. Okay. So I've got this statement here from Spanky. Now, before I read this, let's just put this statement into perspective, because it would be irresponsible for me to not point something out that's very notable. Okay? Because this statement comes out today. When was the verdict? Exactly. What day last week was that verdict? Anybody remember exactly? Wednesday. Okay. Wednesday, there was this verdict. Not one interview. It's a closed case. So I just want to put on note. I just want to make note and put on record that I was right again. Okay? I was right again. And I will explain after I gloat for a moment. I will explain after I gloat for just a moment. Okay? Okay. Dude, remove. Yes, Jesus. So I was right again, because I kept saying it's bizarre that Hank Brennan never does any interviews, never makes any statements after, just simple, hey, it's an open investigation, so I'm not going to get into those things. But I will say that we feel very confident. We feel that Karen Reed is definitely the person. We feel we have enough evidence to convict her. These things never happened. And I kept saying how shady it was. And here we are, Wednesday after Wednesday. Here we are, the Monday after that Wednesday. And the first peep that we're hearing from the Norfolk County DA's office, from Hank Brennan, the special prosecutor, is this statement. Why? Don't they think that they owe the public some sort of statement? Doesn't Hank Brennan owe the Commonwealth of Massachusetts something after spending $5 million in their taxpayer money on a sham? And then we have to wait until Monday before he puts out this cowardly bullshit. I think it's fucking fantastic. Olivia Nile, what's up? Now, before I continue and I read this, you know what we got to do. You know we have to.
Oh, here we go.
I think we got a super cat. Super cat. I think we got a super cat. Super cat. Super I think we got a super chat.
How dare you?
Liz88 gifted another membership. Thank you. Okay, happy birthday, Sarah D. Today is my birthday pump for the show. And Mike B from the 413. Speaking of Turtle Boy, can we at some point discuss his ex post regarding Rachel Rollins this morning? That was not on my 2025 bingo card. I did not see that tweet, but yes, we can discuss that. I will at least check it out. But on to Spanky Brennan's little bullshit, cowardly statement. No interviews with anyone. I mean, this is a weasel. This guy is indicative of all the behavior of his behavior is indicative. All of his behavior is indicative to that of a weasel. This is not even debatable. This is a fucking weasel. The guy even fucking talks like a weasel. I mean, he's a fucking weasel. I mean, just look at his fucking face. He's a fucking weasel. Like, it's not even up for debate. So he says, I am disappointed in the verdict and the fact that we could not achieve justice for John O'Keefe and his family. Wow. District Attorney Michael Morrissey appointed me, giving me full discretion to independently assess the case and follow the evidence no matter where it led. Interesting. After an independent and thorough review of all the evidence, I concluded that the evidence led to one person and only one person, and of course he's referring to Karen Reed. Neither the closed federal investigation nor my independent review led me to identify any other possible suspect or person responsible for the death of John O'Keefe. I find that to be really interesting. I find that to be very, very interesting because it's a fucking lie. And it's a lie because everything that we've been looking at for the past 3 years dictates that it's a fucking lie. Nobody with a brain actually believes that evidence that they've had way more access to than any of us would indicate in any which way, shape, or form, because he would have used such evidence, by the way, in a trial to convict. There is no evidence that indicates that Karen Reed did this. There is none. But there is evidence that John Higgins could have done it. There's evidence that Brian Albert could have covered it up. There's evidence that Jen McCabe tried to cover it up. There's all this evidence. And if he was looking for justice, all of these people would have been at least investigated, and they were not by the Commonwealth. These people were protected by the Commonwealth. And when I say the Commonwealth, I say Michael Morrissey's DA's office. And I should clear that up because you guys are the Commonwealth. And he sure as fuck was not doing this for you. That's a fact. So the issue here is that Hank Brennan never investigated anyone. He never took this case on to search for the truth. All he did was try to facilitate, to add gasoline to the fire that is the frame up of Karen Reed and the cover up of John O'Keefe's murder. It's just that simple. You'd have to be a fool to not see it. Goes on to say the campaign of intimidation. Oh, here we go. Oh, here we go. Let's just do this. Let's just do this in the meantime. I should have been doing this the whole goddamn time. The campaign of intimidation. As a matter of fact, you know what? Let's. I almost forgot to do this. I should have done it this way.
I am disappointed in the verdict and the fact that we could not achieve justice for John O'Keefe and his family. District Attorney Michael Morrissey appointed me, giving me full discretion to independently assess the case and follow the evidence no matter where it led. After an independent and thorough review of all the evidence, I concluded that the evidence led to one person and only one person. Neither the closed federal investigation nor my independent review led me to identify any other possible suspect or person responsible for the death of John O'Keefe. The campaign of intimidation, the campaign of intimidation and abuse that has been waged, funded, and promoted in public and on social media is this antithesis of justice. And when I say antithesis, I mean antithesis of justice. If this type of conduct becomes not commonplace, it will threaten the integrity of our judicial system, affecting both victims and criminally accused.
Now that shit is rich. That shit is fucking rich. I love that shit. He says, if this type of conduct, so he takes a jab at Turtle Boy, which is fantastic. I absolutely love this for Turtle Boy. I do. Like, I gotta be honest. I love this shit for Turtle Boy. Spanky just keeps bringing Turtle Boy in the mix, bro. Like, and that's really all Turtle Boy wants. Turtle Boy wants to be heard. And all he did is like,
if I don't say his name, then it won't matter, but I can use him as an excuse to whine and bitch and be a little cunt.
I mean, but Turtle Boy is clearly living in the dude's fucking head. It's fucking great. Like, it's exactly what Aiden wants. And they just keep doing it. Dude, everybody, dude, just to take a little fucking side just for a second. I mean, I cannot express how fucking hilarious it is that John Only Fails de Pee-Pee ended up getting fucking trolled by some fucking turtle writer and gave a fake fucking interview as posing as a juror, which was fucking hilarious. And this fucking dickhead is foaming at the mouth for this shit. Just like doesn't do anything to vet because he doesn't want to believe that he's being trolled. Like, he doesn't want to believe it. He acted like Higgy when Karen said he was hot. That's what he did. He acted like Higgy, dude.
Oh my goodness. Is this for real? Are you messing with me? Listen, Turtle. Listen. Are you a turtle writer? Listen.
Like, this guy he doesn't know how to do anything but fail. That's why I call him now Only Fails. Because he just fails. That's all John DePepe does. He just fails all the time. All he does is run into fucking, he builds a brick wall and then he runs right into it. Like, deliberately. Going, ow.
Is that a turtle on the brick wall? I'm going right for it.
Smacks his head right into it. And he does it like every day. Dude, you would think that somebody who got fucking booed the way that he did coming down those steps by the biggest crowd to form in outside an American courthouse for an acquittal, for a verdict. I mean, since I don't even know when. Like, you would think he would learn from that. Just before he gets booed, he smacks into somebody's car, and he thinks he's being funny by telling the cop, oh, there was no collision, and then he made some other, and he was like, the taillight pieces were planted there, trying to be funny. Like, it's hilarious to me. Like, all that guy does is lose. Like, that guy is literally a loser. That's all he does. He goes after Turtle Boy. Turtle Boy doesn't do anything. He just has to just keep doing what he's doing. That's all. And it's fucking hilarious. Turtle Boy never even goes after him. The PP goes after him, fails, and then Turtle Boy laughs at him on his show. It's fucking hilarious. I'm fucking here for it. It's so much fun. Dude, covering Aiden's trial is going to be way more fun than covering Karen Reed's. Watch and see. And I'm saying Karen Reed's, well, it's going to be just as fun for different reasons is a better way to put it. Because Karen Reed's and like, yeah, there's different elements to it. But Turtle Boy's trial, like, it's not just about the First Amendment and everything. It's also that it's going to be fucking hilarious to see Mark Betterow or Tim Bradle call Ken Mello to the stand. Like, I can't wait to see that shit. I'm dying to see that shit. Dude, I am so fucking here for that. Dude, right, Microdots, for sure, dude. Jay Coop, 31 half years of, or 3.5 years of fight mode for Karen. I pray everyone keeps showing up. PTSD is awful. This is what gets hard. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I'm sure Karen and her family are going to need a little time to adjust, you know? They're going to need a little time. For sure. Now, yeah, to me, that shit is just funny, dude. I can't believe that this guy fucking had a fake interview with a juror, dude. And jurors reach out to fucking Turtle Boy. That's the funniest shit. Like, the PP can't do anything worth a frog fuck. Like, he can't. He can't. It's fucking great.
The campaign of intimidation and abuse is funded and promoted in public and on social media as an antithesis, I say, of justice. If this type of conduct becomes commonplace, it will threaten the integrity of our judicial system, affecting both victims and criminally accused.
Now, I love that shit, dude, because it's, this guy has the audacity to talk about how dangerous something is in our judicial system. This guy fucking raped the judicial system for the past fucking year for the past year. He's raped it. This dude is a fucking menace. This guy should be locked up. As an American patriot who absolutely adores the vision that our forefathers had for our American justice system, I am of the opinion that that is a prison sentence offense. That is a jailable offense. Fucking put the guy in fucking jail. Spanky Brennan should be in jail for what he did. He lied and lied and lied. He stomped all over Karen Reed's Sixth Amendment rights. And in doing so, Michael Morrissey using him to do that to Karen Reed and using Ken Mello and Cosgrove to do it to rob Turtle Boy of his First Amendment rights, as well as his Sixth Amendment rights. This is a fact. This is undeniable. And this will be, I'm telling you, I'm going to be hyper focused on Norfolk County for as long as it takes. I am hyper focused on Turtle Boy's case. I am going to be hyper focused on Sandra Birchmore. I'm going to be hyper focused on Justin Root. I'm going to be hyper focused on Enrique Delgado Garcia, because there's still a lot to do. If we even have a prayer for federal intervention into Norfolk County, we have to keep people talking about it. It's vital. It's important. There has to be a demand for it. There has to be a demand for it.
We cannot condone witness abuse, causing participants to worry for their own safety of that of their families. It is my hope that with the verdict, the witnesses and their families will be left alone. The harassment of these innocent victims and family members is deplorable. and should never happen again in a case of this Commonwealth.
Now, it's interesting because what he's doing is putting in writing here. I mean, does it sound familiar when I do it like this?
We cannot condone witness abuse, causing participants to worry for their own safety or that of their families. It is my hope that with the verdict, the witnesses and their families will be left alone. The harassment of these innocent victims and family members is deplorable, and it needs to stop and should never happen again in the case in this Commonwealth.
You guys getting what I'm putting down? This guy's a mouthpiece for Morrissey, dude. This guy's a goon. He's a hired fucking mob goon, dude. If Morrissey's dirty, Brennan is a hired fucking mob goon. That's it. That's what this guy's here to do, is cover Morrissey's fucking dirty ass. That's all he's there to do.
My heartfelt condolences to the O'Keefe family and faith that over the coming years they will find peace and closure.
Dude, that statement is the biggest steaming pile of dog shit that I've ever fucking read, bro. Like this, and it's cowardly, dude. It's cowardly. And I say again, it's cowardly. Because he put it in a written statement 5 days after a sound American justice system exonerated Karen Reed. He didn't say anything about how much he believes in the justice system. He didn't say anything about how he counted on the American justice system. All he did was criticize the American justice system. That's all he did. By shifting accountability, by blaming people for blaming the one entity that is the most morally sound to hold the McAlberts accountable. Do you know who that is? Every single one of you, the people, the Commonwealth. Because even the law dictates this. That is why the prosecution refers to themselves as the Commonwealth. Because they are charged to represent the people. That is what their task is. And there was nothing in that statement that represents any Massachusetts that I know, that I've come to learn and love. I didn't see anything indicative of representing any proud Massachusettsan. Where's exactly, Microdots? Where's the jury has spoken? Where's the interest to even have faith in where's the interest to even get the public to continue to have faith in the Commonwealth moving forward? Where is the interest in that? There was nothing. There was nothing to reassure the people of the Commonwealth that things were going to get better. We're going to work towards, not even lie and say we're going to continue to work towards getting justice for victims. None of that. The reason why that is simple. The reason why that is simple. Hank Brennan is a hired fucking mob goon who wasn't interested in justice, who had no passion in his pursuits. He lost because he had no passion behind his pursuits. He did not believe in what he was doing. This is why he lost. Besides the fact that the facts were on the defense's side. Besides the obvious. I should word it this way. This is why Hank Brennan never stood a chance. This is why Hank Brennan never had even a prayer in this trial, because he lacked any conviction or any passion, and much more, he lacked integrity, plant lady. Absolutely. He lacked integrity. And I saw a defense team. I was lucky enough to spend time with a defense team that was passionate every single second of the experience, every single moment. They didn't feel like they could afford to be any less. Okay, I probably won't still be live at that time, but okay, thank you for that. I'll be listening for it. But if I'm still live, I'll definitely stream it, okay? So let me see something here. Oh my God, Grant's live. All right. Now let's get mad, folks. Let's get mad.
Suzanne Morphew was reported missing on Mother's Day 5 years ago. Law enforcement has never stopped working to obtain justice.
Oh, Suzanne, if anyone is out there that can hear this, that has you, please, we'll do whatever it takes to bring you back.
We believe that she's not alive.
After more than 3 years, the remains of Suzanne Morphew had been found.
The grand jury has indicted Barry Morphew on the single count of murder in the first degree.
Bombshell new developments this morning, years after murder charges were dropped. Barry Morphew has now been arrested again in connection to his wife Suzanne's murder. So the big question, will the new charges stick? Plus, we're spotlighting Suzanne Morphew and the Morphew children.
She's right. She's right about that. Will the new charges stick?
Right. Will the daughters continue?
Has anybody here been following the Morphew case? Type of 1 if you've been following if you follow the Morphew case. Because I did cover it. Now, yeah. Now, here's the thing. Annie and I have this ongoing thing about the Barry Morphew case. Now, she has it in her head that I said that I thought he was innocent. I never thought this guy was innocent. All I said was, I don't think that the DA has enough evidence to convict him. That's what I said. It's all I've ever said. And I was right. And she will still twist it and say, no. I was right. Because you said he was innocent. I was like, I never said he was innocent. You stop it. But nevertheless, now I think he's guilty as shit, if I'm being honest. But I still question whether or not they have enough to convict him. We'll see.
Continue standing by their dad. Also this hour, reaction rolling in after Karen Reed's verdict. Special prosecutor Hank Brennan breaks his silence this morning, and you'll hear it first here on Court TV. Plus, a baby-faced drug mule? Sean Diddy Combs' personal assistant testifying about. Welcome, planned a wonderful show for you to start off your work week. So grab time in your. It's better 100 guilty persons should escape than one innocent person should suffer. That is part of what makes our justice system said. As Benjamin Franklin famously said, it is better 100 guilty persons should escape than one innocent person should suffer.
And that is exactly why it is justice that Karen Reed is not in prison right now. That's exactly why. But see, That's what really makes me mad. The fact that she is quoting, dude, I get so mad when I hear Bev quote John Adams or fucking Lally quote John Adams or this asshole quote fucking Ben Franklin, dude. That shit makes me so mad. Yeah, exactly. Right here, bro. All this right fucking here, dude. She's a fucking liar. Julie Grant is a piece of shit.
That is part of what makes our justice system the greatest in the world. Our system protects the rights of the accused. Karen.
Now how much of a fucking travesty is it that this piece of shit right here is doing more to explain and try to reassure people of the justice system than Hank Brennan in his statement 5 days after the verdict? The cowardly move of putting out a statement that some fucking intern probably wrote for him. But no, it sounded fucking from the lack of heart from Michael Morrissey and Hank Brennan.
Karen Reed got a fair trial, and that's the way it should be. Now, let's be clear. Not guilty finding is legally not the same as a declaration of innocence. Not guilty means that the jurors, for whatever their reasons, did not find evidence existed to prove the case beyond a reasonable doubt. Do I think they got it right? No. But do I respect the verdict? Yes. To me,
bro, listening to Paula on Turtle Boy last night, on Turtle Boy Live last night, listening to Paula on that show and talking to Betterow and just watching Betterow's, just first of all, let me explain something. I want to be abundantly clear about something very, 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 very quickly. I want to take a moment to talk about the fact that the mighty Mark Betterow is probably the coolest fucking dude alive, bro. Like, unless he is the dopest dude alive, for sure, okay? But I feel like Mark Betterow is the coolest fucking dude alive, dude. Just always chill. Always chill and is just beaming with fucking brilliance, dude. Always just dropping insight that is incredibly valuable. Gotta love the mighty Mark Betterow. Like, you're a damn fool if you hate the mighty Mark Betterow. Like, he's one of those people. If you don't get along with the mighty Mark Betterow, there's something wrong with you. There's something wrong with you. You're flawed. Whatever it is, it's you. I promise. I guarantee you. Just so you know. Just for the record.
the most important question that everyone should be asking after this trial ended is, did John O'Keefe get justice? Was acquitting Karen Reed justice for his death?
It's the first.
If you think her acquittal means
it is Julie Grant. Not only is it justice. Now, it's not ultimate justice. No, of course not. Only God can say what ultimate justice is. But I could tell you this without a doubt, it is a necessary, and I mean necessary, step towards getting John O'Keefe justice. Let me repeat that. Karen Reed getting acquitted of his murder is a necessary step towards getting Boston police officer John O'Keefe justice. That is a fact. So let's see. Let's see moving forward who actually does anything to get justice for Boston police officer John O'Keefe. Let's see. Let's see what we do with that first step. I challenge Julie Grant. I challenge Court TV. I challenge Vinnie Politan. I challenge every single law tuber that has been talking about this case. Every single person who has said that they want justice for John O'Keefe, I challenge everyone to continue to fight for justice for Boston police officer John O'Keefe, excuse me. Like, put your money where your mouth is the point here. All this, this is about John. This is about John. And then someone who is clearly framed, whether you want to admit it or not, because it may mess with your demographic on your platform. But the fact is, the details dictate that Karen Reed was framed and is absolutely innocent of this crime, not just not guilty. That's the facts. The facts dictate this. This is undeniable. So knowing this, will we all take this ball and run with it? Because it has been handed to us. Will we take this ball and run with it? That's the big question. Will people who said this is about John O'Keefe, will they step up and continue to fight for justice for Boston police officer John O'Keefe? That's the big question. This is where everyone's true colors are going to be shown.
Means a new investigation is going to be launched to search for the real killer and prosecute them. Think again. That's not going to happen. The quest for justice for John O'Keefe happened in criminal court, and it ended with that verdict.
See, she doesn't know that. And this is incredibly irresponsible of not just her, but it's incredibly irresponsible of Court TV to air it. Because she's a spokesperson for Court TV, is she not? Laura Riker, thank you so much. Member for 10 months. Wow. Thank you for your undying passion for justice. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you for your undying passion for justice. I mean, how is that? She's saying it's done. There's no chance now for justice for John O'Keefe. How can somebody like that consider themselves a halfway decent person when we know what the evidence dictates? We know it. How could somebody say anything less than I at least hope that there's still a chance?
Justice in civil court for John O'Keefe is a whole nother story. But in the meantime, only Karen Reed knows with 100% certainty whether she hit and killed John O'Keefe. I imagine that if the jury arrived at the right decision, that she did not hit and kill him, then Karen Reed must be sleeping like a baby at night. But if the jury...
Shut up, lady. You sleep like a bat. I bet you hang upside down, bro. Stop it.
Got it wrong, and their verdict does not align with the truth of what happened, I would imagine it will be torturous for Karen Reed in the future, because living with that kind of secret guilt would eat her alive. That's my opening statement. Let me know if you like it. Right now, it's time for your daily docket.
On the people of the state of California versus 9
in Connecticut, quote, first in breaking his silence, And we have some breaking news for you this morning. Special prosecutor Hank Brennan breaking his silence on Karen Reed's verdict. And opening statements is first.
Now, let me point something out. A very significant observation, in my opinion, that I'm making here is that it takes 5 days for this dude to release this fucking written statement, doesn't take any interviews, doesn't address the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, right? Doesn't address them at all. And she's like, he's breaking his silence. Okay, man, but like, why was he silent? Why aren't you asking that? Like, why was he silent? It's weird that he was silent. Because I'll tell you how it comes off to the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, to the people of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. The way it comes off to all of them, all of us that are even not even in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, all of us see that as he pouted for 5 days. That's how we see it. That he pouted for 5 days. He lost. Didn't concede in any way. Just lost and pouted. That's how we see that silent period is this mob goon weasel hung his head and pouted for 5 days before having someone in Michael Morrissey's office type up this bullshit statement. Is that somebody that you want fighting for justice, representing the people of Massachusetts? Is that what the people of Massachusetts want?
Obtain Brennan's statement. It reads, quote, I am disappointed in the verdict, in the fact that we could not achieve justice for John O'Keefe and his family. District Attorney Michael Morrissey appointed me, giving me full discretion to independently assess the case and follow the evidence no matter where it led. After an independent and thorough review of all the evidence, I concluded that the evidence led to one person and only one person. Neither the closed federal investigation nor my independent review led me to identify any other possible suspect or person responsible for the death of John O'Keefe. The campaign of intimidation and abuse that has been waged, funded, and promoted in public and on social media is the antithesis of justice. If this type of conduct becomes commonplace, it will threaten the integrity of our judicial system, affecting both victims and criminally accused. We cannot condone witness abuse, causing participants to worry for their own safety or that of their families. It is my hope that with the verdict, the witnesses and their families will be left alone. The harassment of these innocent victims and family members is deplorable and should never happen again in a case in this Commonwealth. My heartfelt condolences to the O'Keefe family and faith that over the coming years, they will find peace and closure. Hank Brennan, what a brilliant attorney and crusader for justice. He deserves to be highly commended for his courage and the masterful job he did seeking justice for John O'Keefe. Let's bring in our power panel to get some reaction to Hank Brennan's statement. I want to welcome.
That bitch just said that shit with a straight face. Yo, hold on, I gotta hear that shit again. And say it for me real slow, Julie, because I can't believe my fucking ears. Hold on.
Closure. Hank Brennan, what a brilliant attorney and crusader for justice. He deserves to be highly commended for his courage and the masterful job he did seeking justice for John O'Keefe. Let's bring in our power panel to get some reaction.
Oh my God, lady.
To Hank Brennan's statement. I want to welcome in John Petro. He covered the show start to finish.
Dude,
he's a nationally known radio host and the creator of Road Patrol Live. Also, we've got former.
You can't be taken seriously talking to this guy, dude. Like, you just can't, bro. Like, without clowning him. At least Vinny clowned him. At least Vinny was just like, he was looking at John. He was like, the ARCA? What does that have to do with ARCA? Looked at the camera right after playing his dumbass get booed walking down those steps. I will never forget that. That is like one of my favorite moments in this whole goddamn ordeal, bro. I'm not even lying. This is one of my favorite moments.
Former prosecuting attorney Tommy Pope famously put away Susan Smith. He's in the private sector now, also a state lawmaker in South Carolina. And we have high-profile criminal defense attorney and former prosecutor Mario Gallucci with us from New York. Good morning to you all. Let's get your reactions, please, to Hank Brennan's statement. I just want to kind of go around the room here and get your thoughts on what he had to say after this verdict. John, let me begin with you, please.
You know, Julie, and obviously that's the first time I'm seeing it. Everyone else is seeing it. I'm very glad he put it out. He did as good a job as anyone could, do. I'm glad he talked about the exhaustive efforts he went to.
No, he didn't, DePepe. No, he didn't, bro. In a way, he's right, actually. I take it back because Spanky had nothing to work with. He didn't have anything to work with. He didn't have a case. So I guess he did the best he could with what he had because he didn't have shit. Like nothing. He had nothing. This is the most unethical display of being a court officer I've ever seen. Is Spanky going to this trial a second time with nothing, knowing that the case was unwinnable, wasting taxpayer dollars. Hank Brennan, in my opinion, should be in fucking jail. And at the very least, Beverly Cannoni should be reprimanded in some way. In some way.
That he felt it all led to one person. But this also comes back to, I'm glad he also touched on how these witnesses, and they're coming under fire, and anyone that's talking and speaking out is coming under fire. And I also want to caution people right now, there are people, it's very dangerous rhetoric that's out there of we have to search for the real killers. And I know we're going to talk about
That's not dangerous at all. That's not dangerous at all. And I'm going to repeat this because you're going to hear me say this a lot. Okay? I want to be very, very clear about it. You're going to hear me say this shit a lot. I hate the idea of federal intervention. The only thing dangerous about demanding justice for John O'Keefe and demanding that federal intervention happens is the precedent that federal intervention sets. I love the United States of America. I love the idea of each state governing itself. I love that shit. But the problem now, it's gotten so bad with Massachusetts that you can't count on Massachusetts to govern itself. Look at Maura Healey. She's a joke. She's a joke. She doesn't give a shit about her constituents. She doesn't give a shit about the state that she's running, the people in the state that she's running, clearly, because this wouldn't have happened. And she wouldn't have given the bullshit statement that she did. So that's the only thing that's dangerous about it, is that it's gotten to that point. And that we're not only cheering for the idea of federal intervention, we're praying for it, we're hoping for it. That is the dangerous part. That's the dangerous part. Because that's not what our forefathers had in mind. And so the people of Massachusetts have to vote. The people of Massachusetts have to demand and take the proper legal steps to make the proper changes. This is the responsibility of the people. It should not be the responsibility of the feds. And it's a scary thing. So, no, it's not dangerous. It's not dangerous to demand justice for, not in the sense that DePepe's trying to imply here. It's not. It's
the fact is that the person who was wrongly accused is now exonerated. That's out of the way. Now, step forward. Try to find out what happened to John O'Keefe, because the facts dictate that someone inside 34 Fairview on the early morning hours of January 29th, 2022 murdered John O'Keefe, whether it was an accident or whether it was on purpose. But there is motive. And there is a video of someone clearly wanting to physically harm John O'Keefe just minutes before he's allegedly found or allegedly attacked. Minutes. And it's on video. So yes, the real killers of John O'Keefe are still out there. That is not dangerous. It's dangerous for those real killers. Good. Good. Because they should be afraid of the people of Massachusetts legally holding them accountable. They should be afraid of the people of the United States of America legally holding them accountable for the death of Boston police officer John O'Keefe. They should absolutely be afraid of that.
About that juror interview that Vinny did. And I find actually a lot of things she's saying very troubling, where she keeps bringing it back to the house. And she's mentioning, Nicole Albert and Brian Albert. And we need to find out this is all dangerous rhetoric. Hank Brennan put together a solid case. He actually, to me, proved his case. We even have the juror saying, I think she touched him, which to me is the new spin of Karen saying, I didn't hit him. Now you have a juror saying, I think she may have touched him, but not hit him.
I mean, this guy, he just can't help but attack these jurors.
That must be very difficult. Hank Brennan, it should be head held high. He knew what was on, what was at stake here. And I think people really need to just finally really understand there's a lot at stake here, the way this whole thing went down and how the other side, the Karen Reed.
He's just saying a whole lot of nothing.
Side is actually reacting, celebrating. And
yes, you fucking right. We're celebrating. You're fucking right. We're celebrating. I hope to celebrate a shit ton more. I hope a fucking party happens and I fucking drag my fucking gimp ass through a fucking how many ever airports I got to drag my ass through to get to that party. I hope that fucking happens. Absolutely.
And just their general demeanor right now, it's very, very damaging and to the system.
Mm-hmm. Right, John. Hank Brennan, I've said it before, I'll say it again. He's a hero. He's a hero for those victims. He fought the good fight. It's not easy to do what he did. And John, I'm glad you mentioned juror number 11 speaking with Court TV. She spoke with Vinnie Politan the other night. Let's take a listen to some of what she said about the taillight evidence.
The theory I have, if she back up and maybe hit something, a curb or him, or some people in the juror raised the question, maybe he was mad and he could have thrown the glass on the taillight and break it. 34 Fairview and the police department is very close. It was time enough for someone to just show up and drop a piece of taillight at the scene.
What did you think of the...
Okay, so that just was a little bit of a clip of it. Tommy Pope, let me go to you next, please. Your reaction.
Hey, did you feel how refreshing that felt to see Vinny just for a second, back to back of Julie Grant? Did you feel how refreshing that was? How refreshing that felt? I felt refreshed when I saw Vinny for a second, and then it was as soon as I saw fucking Julie Grant and heard her shitty fucking voice again, I was just fucking bummer, dude.
To Hank Brennan's statement, please.
I thought Hank was spot on. I think it was a slip of the tongue, Julie, but when you had introduced John, you said he covered the show from beginning to end, and that's what it was. And I think what concerns me, we see this in high-profile cases, but it normally takes place outside the courtroom. This somehow invaded the courtroom, and I think Hank was spot on. You've got to respect the jury and their decision making because we're all part of the system. And if we quit respecting the jury, the system fails. So he's spot on with that. But I like what he went on to say, because I really think it's terrifying that you can orchestrate and get these crowds out front, because the fact that the jurors started with the, because they never really hit the conspiracy thing like they did the first trial, but the fact that
you could sit here and blame Turtle Boy and whoever the fuck for crowds forming out front. You can blame whoever the fuck you want. There's one thing that actually brought that crowd out there to the front of that courthouse day after day after day after day, and then that massive crowd the day of the verdict. There's one thing, and that is the truth. That's it. They can sit here and spew all this bullshit all they want. But one thing, nobody orchestrated these people coming out there. What Turtle Boy did was he orchestrated the public knowing the truth. That's what he did. And the truth is what brought all of those people out there the day of the verdict. The truth is what kept Scott McGinnis going out there every day. What kept Dina going out there every day. What kept Dana and Tracy going out there every day. What kept Tom going out there every day. That's the truth. That's the power of the truth. This is undeniable. This is why I'm here. This is why so many people right now are listening to my dumb ass speak and yell and talk out of my fucking face. This is why. The truth. Simple.
that juror just said, well, somebody from the police station could have brought it over there. That tells me she's hearing the rhetoric that has been ginned up outside the courtroom. I'm not saying during the trial necessarily, but somehow it just surprises me you would find that independently. If that's the case, then she believes everybody in every case, they ginned up the speeding charge, they ginned up everything. And so this verdict, I respect it too, but it's sickening. And the little signals and the smiles and the laughs, a man is dead. And I'm pretty sure this.
What about the signals between Spanky and Bev, homie? What about those? Those are the only signals that matter, bro. Okay, let's just fucking call it for what it is. The only signals here that matter from between people are the inappropriate ones. And the only ones that are inappropriate are the ones between the judge and the prosecutor. Such standard Burgess on the mic.
This drunk lady caused it. Whether she did it intentionally or not, she did it. But now she's going to end up being a social media star or a reality star.
Fuck yeah.
And a family's left to suffer. So I'm with you, Julie. God bless the family going through another trial. But, the burdens.
You know what? I mean, I hope she does go through all. I hope she becomes a fucking rock star, bro. Like, I hope she gets her own fucking talk show. I hope fucking Karen Reed becomes the next motherfucking Oprah, dude. She's earned it. I hope that happens. I hope she gets to do whatever the fuck she wants. Ultimately, that's the best way to put it. I hope she gets to do whatever the fuck she wants. The fucking sky's the limit. That's how I feel about it. And I mean, that's Spanky's fault. That's Lally's fault. That's Morrissey's fault. That's Proctor's fault. Disgraced Proctor's fault. Fucking couple of fucking ass cheeks for eyes. Proctor's got ass cheeks for eyes, dude. I didn't even think that could happen to anybody. Fucking fat fuck. That's the fucking McAlbert's fault. That's Higgy's fault.
Burden's different in a civil case. And just the video we're seeing now, it's ridiculous, but they won, so they get the benefit of it.
Oh my goodness. Nancy gifted 10 memberships. Oh my God.
Enjoyed it.
Tommy, I love your analysis. Especially appreciate the part where you said this campaign invaded the courtroom. You know, we talk a lot about the circus outside, the charade, you know, how.
Dude, shut the fuck up, lady. Jesus Christ. This campaign invaded the courtroom.
That can't affect what goes on in the jury process.
How about Fanning invaded the last jury, asshole?
And there's a big question. I'm in agreement with you, Tom. A big question as to whether this jury was tainted, whether that pool was tainted from the outset because of what's gone on in this community. Mario Gallucci, last but certainly not least here on our power panel. Want to get your reaction to Hank Brennan's statement and your thoughts, please.
So I agree with everybody on the panel. This is typical gaslighting. You brought this up last week in your opening statement, and this is going on more and more in these high-profile cases. The use of social media is increased. The fact that we are now having to address social media, it's going right into what I do for jury selection now. I address social media right from the get-go, just to make sure that, you know, this doesn't interfere in the courtroom. I've tried cases that I've won that I was like, wow, what trial with this jury watching? And I've tried cases that I've lost and said the same thing. So you got to stand by the verdict. But, you know, more and more social media is playing a large role.
You see how Julie Grant runs her shit? Like, it's just an echo chamber. Vinny will at least have people with opposing opinions, right? And he runs his show respectfully where everybody just respects it. But to see, in order for Julie Grant to successfully be as biased as she is, and for Julie Grant to be as shitty as she is to have guests on her panel that all share the same opinion, so that there's no rift, so that nobody will call her out on her bullshit, her obvious bullshit. What's up, Sergeant Murphy? Sergeant Peter Murphy, y'all. A corrupt state can't be trusted to investigate themselves. Corruption is the criminal. Agreed. Absolutely, Sergeant Peter Murphy, sir.
Of what's going on in the courtroom.
All right, Mario. I'm sure Hank Brennan knows that he's such a seasoned trial attorney, as you all know. He's a defense attorney, a high-profile defense attorney, represented Whitey Bulger. He's had a great career. He did this willingly, doing what's right.
Listen to how gross it is to hear this fucking asshole fangirl for fucking Spanky Brennan, bro.
To do what's right, to seek justice. I'm sure he knows, like you said, every trial attorney knows sometimes you lose cases you should win, and you win cases you should lose. It's just the way it goes. You gentlemen know that. And in my view, this is a case that should have been won by the Commonwealth. I believe Hank Brennan proved it, not just beyond a reasonable doubt, but beyond all doubt. I don't know where we ever have seen a homicide prosecution where it's proved down to the minute when the event happened. He proved down to the minute, 12:32 a.m. That was right.
Okay, this is how full of shit Julie Grant is. Okay? Spanky, in his closing arguments, admitted that he didn't know when the collision actually took place, which means in a court of law that no collision took place. That's what it means. So in his closing argument, he didn't know when or where the collision actually took place. We don't know, is what he said. We don't exactly know when the collision actually took place or where. And then this lady is going, he did it. He got it down. He proved it down to the minute. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. That's why she walked. According to the jury, Spanky failed. The defense not only won, Spanky flunked. He flunked. He's a flunky. He's a fucking flunky. A mob goon flunky.
was remarkable. So when we're hearing jurors, oh, well, I thought there was reasonable doubt. Really? Was it reasonable? But, it's their verdict. They've got to live with it. It wasn't, our case. And John DePietro, I want to ask you about some of the people who have had to live with this case only because of their proximity and relationships to John O'Keefe, the Alberts, the McCabe's. They sat down with ABC News. I know you saw the interview. We have a little clip from it. Let's take a look.
You do realize for this conspiracy to be true, it would take 30 to 50 people. You realize for this conspiracy.
It did take 30 to 50 people. I pointed out in Aiden's chat yesterday that they look like a fucking losing bowling team. Look at these assholes. Just a bunch of fucking shitty people, dude. Just sprawled out right there all over fucking national television. Look at these fucking losers, dude. Bunch of fucking cop killers right there.
To be true, it would take 30 to 50 people. You'd have to have multiple cops on 2 different police departments.
Right.
Multiple civilians.
Right.
The medical examiner.
Right.
Firemen.
Well,
EMTs. You name it.
You didn't get the medical examiner. You tried, but you didn't.
That's how preposterous and silly this is.
I love that interview. And John, I have to tell you, and this is something you know well from covering this case, and being someone who's, always been on a quest for the truth and justice and sticking to the facts and getting, unwarranted attacks. I've experienced it as well and tried to be silenced. It didn't.
Oh, no. It's not unwarranted. And nobody's trying to silence you. I'm just exercising my right to make fun of you because you suck. Please don't go silent. I love roasting you because you're a fucking asshole, lady. I'm a big fan of it. But nobody's trying to silence you. Turtle Boy sat in jail for 2 months for your right to sit there and trash him. I thought this was the Kenosha Kickers. Okay. Thank you. Appreciate it. I mean, unwarranted, though? She said that it was unwarranted attacks. No, man. They're not unwarranted. It's not an attack to state a fact that these people covered up the murder of a cop. That's a fact. The evidence dictates it. In the court of public opinion, full of attorneys, other cops, we've come to the conclusion that the McAlberts are fucking cop killers. They covered up a murder. They conspired to cover up a murder. The facts dictate it.
It didn't work for either of us. We kept speaking. But I heard Brian Albert say there was a blueprint. He said there was a blueprint that he said that Karen Reed and her team, whatever you want to call it, PR machine, advocacy team, whatever it is, the blueprint was to destroy the witnesses, destroy their credibility, ruin their lives so they wouldn't come forward. And we hear Hank Brennan saying in his statement.
By doing what? Disclosing the facts? See, this lack of accountability shows the lack of integrity in Julie Grant's reporting. Because all that we're doing is disclosing facts about this. About the McAlberts. We're disclosing facts. That doesn't count as an attack. Now, if you want to count me pointing out that they look like a losing bowling team as an attack, okay, fine. Yeah, I'll take that. Sure. Whatever. It's what they look like. But it's still a fact. It's what they look like. Like the whole chat wouldn't have fucking laughed if they didn't look like a losing bowling team. I mean, it's just that simple. So, I mean,
you don't get to say when we point out facts that they're being attacked. The facts are attacking them.
Think about how this is the antithesis of justice. If there is campaigning done outside the courtroom to ruin people's lives and intimidate them so that justice can't happen, where will we be in America? And
no McAlbert has felt intimidated by anyone in this in these matters. The only thing that the McAlberts have been intimidated by is the truth. That is it. That is literally the only thing that they feel intimidated by. The truth looming over them. When they lay down to go to bed, each one of them, when they lay down to go to bed, and then the shudder that comes over them when they're laying silently in the dark, trying to fall asleep, and then this shudder comes over them when they imagine themselves being indicted, when they imagine the shit storm that would come down on them once they're indicted, once handcuffs go on. That fear, that imagining of those handcuffs, those cold steel handcuffs going on their wrists, being maybe a little too tight. That's the only thing that intimidates them. Not anyone saying these things. Thank you, Amanda. Appreciate it. Oh, yeah, man.
And then same goes for members of the media who were just there to report the facts, tell the stories, and then to get attacked for doing their job. I'd love your thoughts on all of this, John.
Oh, this is where she gives John a mic to fucking whine and bitch, play victim. A media just doing their job. What about Turtle Boy just doing his job? Christina Reynolds, thank you so much. Any future attorney I consider must answer first, hated, read, guilty or not guilty. If answer is I don't know or guilty, moving on to better choice with right answer. Not sure if I understood that, but thank you. I know it's so hard to type clearly with super chats. I'm sorry about that. Like, not only do I appreciate you guys spending the monetary aspect for super chats, but the patience that many of you go through to actually type the shit out, I have to tell you, I'm really grateful for that. I'm really, really grateful for that effort, that extra effort to give by dealing with how hard it is to actually type in these super chats. So thank you guys. Yeah, she didn't say nothing about jurors being attacked, did she? She sure didn't, Steve-O.
You know, Julie, I think Nicole Albert even summed it up. Why would someone come forward to testify in a murder trial in Massachusetts? Why would people get involved?
I love that shit. They would have been fucking subpoenaed. They would have been fucking subpoenaed, dude. Sit here and act like you're fucking all noble and shit. Came forward and testified. No, man, you were fucking subpoenaed. Dude, Jen McCabe's attorney filed a motion so that she to try to get her out of having to testify from the first trial. Jen McCabe's attorney filed a motion. She was subpoenaed. And these people are acting like they did something fucking noble. They performed their civic duty. Bullshit. You performed your civic duty. You covered up a murder of a cop. You lied. You lied to investigators. You lied to the FBI, and you lied to the grand jury. And then you lied on the stand in the first trial. Ultimately, tried to get out of it. Stop it. Sit here and act like you did something noble. You didn't do shit. You tried to get out of it. Fuck out of here.
No one protects you. I think people need to understand, we're not talking about inside the courtroom where they throw out a third-party culprit. We're talking about an orchestrated campaign.
Exactly. Like, listen to these people just, exactly. America was built. That's why I say, dude, Those are the most fucking, these people. Scott McGinnis is a goddamn American hero, bro. He had no quit. Dina, goddamn American hero, bro. Fucking, for real. Going out there, exercising the First Amendment right that all these assholes take for granted. Because if nobody was exercising it, they would, before you know it, you don't have it. Before you know it, because you don't pay attention to fucking laws being changed. Before you know it, you don't have that right anymore. You already don't have the right to do it in Massachusetts. That's what's crazy. There's a law already existing in Massachusetts where you don't have the right to do these things. So these people, knowing that they could be arrested for simply being peaceful, these people are American fucking heroes. Because what they cared about was the fact that it was their God-given right. It is not a Massachusetts given right. Fuck you, Massachusetts, is in that sense. As far as Massachusetts law goes, fuck you, Massachusetts law. It is a God-given American right to assemble, to speak. Simple. Sit here and act like these people don't have the rights that they have. Fuck you. Julie Grant only fails to pee-pee.
Leaked all their names from grand jury testimony, and then a concerted effort. This is where they live. This is where this one lives. Or you camp out. Let's show you where they all are, and let's
shut up. Diffusers, Randy, and flummoxification. Breen and going to be claiming intimidation now. Get the fuck out of here, right? Get the fuck out of here. I want to hear that shit. I want to hear any of these people fucking whine, bro. Manage your fucking feelings, dude.
And let's just keep the pressure and make their life living hell. And I thought it was, they have been under attack this entire time, but it's really ramped up the past couple of days since, the verdict came out. But it's an element of
no accountability for his part and everyone else that he fucking rubs elbows with. No accountability on the harassment, the racist driven harassment against juror number 11. No accountability for that shit at all.
Dehumanize, go after them, convince people that these people are not worth basic respect.
Mm-hmm. You're so right, John. I feel like we could all keep talking. I know we're out of time, but I sure hope that good people start standing up, protecting these innocent people. And we certainly saw that with Hank Brennan. My God,
we already did. We are doing that. We stood up for Karen Reed, and now we're standing up for Turtle Boy. We already did, and we're already doing it. Just so you know, Julie, the innocent people are being stood up for. Thank you, though. Very helpful.
My God, what an incredible job he did with this prosecution, and should hold his head up high. John DePietro, we have to let you go. Incredible reporting. You were one of the very courageous ones speaking up.
John DePietro, we have to let you go because you smell like pee-pee.
Out, always making sure that John O'Keefe was at the forefront of this story. Thank you for that. Tommy Pope and Mario Gallucci are coming with us. Please do the same at home. Here's what we have coming up here this morning for you on Opening Statements.
Was it a crash? I mean, the bike looked, the way it was laying, it kind of looked like it, but there's not really that much damage to the bike. That's the thing. Lion? Yeah, it was a fast lion. No lion? I didn't see anything that would indicate.
Barry Morphew arrested again for the killing of his wife, Suzanne. The new details.
Shut up. Shut up.
Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, Annie's interview with Sherry Papini just dropped. Fucking amazing, bro. And yo, tonight Melanie Little's gonna have Yannetti and Alessi on. That's gonna be dope. At 7:30 Eastern. So make sure to check that out. I'm sure you'll hear about it besides from me. But so look, this dickhead's live. Let's check him out.
That particularly interesting. So I understand that, but I'm also pretty good barometer on when a story is a good story and when story has, as they would say, jumped the shark, has kind of hit the wall. There's still some fallout on that. There's still going to be some people talking about it. And I want to leave one more thought. Hi there, Lynn. And that is one more thought. I agree with you, Kim. And again, good afternoon to everybody on YouTube. Thank you for all of our super chats. YouTube is going exceptionally well. Of course, our Facebook faithful. You keep us rolling with the stars. We also have people that are saying, boy,
I'm not telling anybody to go over to the PP's chat and spam it with only fails the PP. I'm not telling anybody to do that. Don't do that. Okay? I'm saying go give it a like. Go give his video a like, bro. But don't go over there and spam his chat with only fails the PP. Don't do that. Okay? Don't do that. It's inappropriate. As a matter of fact, I denounce this behavior altogether. Okay? I denounce it. How do you feel about that, Bob?
What could be more egregious? What could be more misleading than that? And what could be more important?
What's up, Kelly Reed? Good to see you. Look at this guy, bro. I can't with this guy.
Maybe a couple people. Thank you, Emily. Yes. Look at that. I'm wrong. I think right now, for the most part, the media, they're not sure what.
Look at this
There's
guy.
Still some people.
Dude, look at this guy. He looks like a fucking genital wart with glasses, bro. Just look at him. This guy can't win, bro. Like, he just can't. I never seen anybody get in their own way more than only fails the pee-pee. Never seen it. Don't go over there. Don't do it. Okay? Yeah, he sucks. He fucking sucks. Oh my God, what?
Oh, here we go.
I think we got a super dad. Super dad. I think we got a super dad. Super dad. Super dad. Super dad. I think we got a super dad.
How dare you?
Christina Reynolds, thank you. LOL, I meant Amy, future attorney I hire. Any future attorney I hire must say item read, not guilty. Okay, got it, I think. Thank you. Let's see what this fucking... And every time that I see the turtle, it's something happens to my pants, and they just kind of they kind of, they kind of, what do you call, you call it pitch a tent, do you? Do you call it, I think you call it pitching a tent. Whenever I see the turtle, I kind of pitch a tent, and it's something else that just makes me get just raging little baby boners. Raging little baby boners is whenever I see the Reeds when they walk into court and I tell lies about them, that every single time, because I just imagine when everything's all over, I'm going to walk down those stairs and I'm going to get booed. I'm going to get booed because I get off on that, because it gives me a baby boner. It gives me a little turtle head boner. You know? I mean, dear God, now I'm just going to pray. Dear God, please make my turtle boner bigger. Please, God. Please, God. Please make my turtle boner bigger. Oh, wait. What is this going on? God, if you're listening, please make my turtle boner bigger. Please make ladies somehow attracted to me. Just somehow, in some capacity. Amen. Dude, this guy is the fucking worst. He's the worst. Terry's been mad at me. Look, Terry's been mad at me all morning because I sent her a video. I would never play here, but not that kind of video. It was a video that I knew she would laugh at, but be mad at herself for laughing at, which I love to do. What is this guy doing right now? I was gonna say, man, show us your hands, bro. We need to see where those beaters are going, bro. Okay. All right. So what I think I'm gonna do, folks. No, bro. All right. I'm opening up the phone lines. Opening up the phone lines, folks. Phone lines are open. Anybody wants to call in, they can. Just put your little the pee-pee fingers on your phone and dial. No. Okay. No. Okay. Nobody wants to call. What in the
Call from.
You're on. Who am I speaking with?
It's Mike B from the 413.
Mike B from the 413. What's up, buddy?
Nothing much. So, on day 5 of trying to figure out what case comes next in this Norfolk County saga.
Well, Turtle Boy.
Yeah, there's that. Plus, they're still trying to cover up Sandra Birchmore. And
well, I mean, the feds are at least on that one. Maybe they're waiting to get convictions on Sandra Birchmore before they reopen the investigation into Michael Morrissey's office. Yeah,
I was hoping they would reopen it before Turtle Boy's trial and kind of put it to rest with, like, okay, this is no longer a viable case because all these people are guilty of this shit.
Right.
Because, announce indictments against everybody else that's supposed to be a victim of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, with them indicted, it's like, okay, is there really a point to that?
Yeah, it would be nice if those indictments came down before Turtle Boy's trial, because that would be very helpful.
Yeah, and probably saving some money in legal fees because.
But Cosgrove won't drop the case when that happens. He won't drop the case, even though he should, but he won't.
But how's the judge let it go forward, looking at it, going, "You're really going to put witnesses who are under federal indictments on a stand in this courtroom to say he's the one in the wrong?"
Well,
how's they a reasonable judge? I mean, I don't think this case will ever go to Bev.
No, I don't think it'll go to Bev either, but we'll see. I mean, I'm sure Bradel and Betterow will file more motions to dismiss if there's grounds to file motions to dismiss. You know?
True. Very true. But yeah, check out Turtle Boy's thing when you get a chance about Rachel Rollins congratulating him. Like I said, that was not on my bingo card for this year. I did not see her congratulating Turtle Boy.
Yeah, man. It's wild. There's just I've never seen anything like everything that's going on with this, man. Like, this is going to be an interesting outcome once it's all unfolded. But I
want to know what. Yeah, and what is Brian Tully doing today? I mean, look at all this harassment that came out against Paula, juror number 11. Look at all the things being written about her, being said about her, and what's Brian Tully doing today?
Right. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. You know. I mean, they don't give a shit, man. Like, they're only interested in shutting Turtle Boy up. That's it. That's the only thing. They're only interested in shutting Turtle Boy up.
True. I mean, I've never seen. I talked to a lawyer that goes to my gym, and he's like, "I've never seen somebody prosecuted for writing so mean stories. Like, I've never seen that in my 40-year career as a lawyer. I've never seen that." I'm like, well, now you have. He's like, yeah, now I can retire and see everything.
It was so good. Like, it was so good for everyone's mental health, for attorneys, cops, and then this juror to just validate all of us going, wait a second, I know I'm not a cop. I know I'm not a lawyer. I know when I'm not on that jury. Like, and just hoping that the jury saw this for what it was, and they did. And, at least that particular juror did. And I mean, the fact is they all acquitted Karen Reed, not guilty, and the defense gave them the charge. The defense gave them the charge that they convicted her on. And I mean, a year probation, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I still think it's fucking petty to convict them on that, but to convict anyone on that 3.5 years after the fact, I think that's fucking petty. I stand by that. But
yeah, she's already served the suspension time of no license.
Right. So
she served like 3 times that.
Yeah.
But no, the last thing there's a friend of mine who watched the case with a retired police officer. He was on the fence through trial 1, except for repeatedly saying, "How did these guys fuck up like this?" I wasn't one to believe about the McAlberts involved. He always said, "How?"
Oh.
And then this time around, we have Gallagher on the stand again going, "Yeah, it was too cold and windy." He's like, for a dead fellow cop, it was too cold and windy.
Shit. Yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, absolutely ridiculous, man. And dude, it's so funny. Like, I keep thinking of things that happened, like little conversations I've had with like Jackson and with with like, and like, I don't know what I'm allowed to talk about yet. Like, I have to wait till I can talk to them. You know what I mean? And I'm just taking my time. I don't want to, I think they're going right now. They're going on the right platforms to educate and reach the most people. And I'm just gonna hang back. They know how to contact me if we'll I'll have them on at some point. But I'm in no rush. But it's just there's stuff that I want to like talk about, but I can't. That I don't know if I can or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's completely fair.
Yeah.
I mean, there might be things that can't come out till the feds make an ultimate decision about that.
Yeah, for sure.
But no, I mean, the retired cops I know, one in particular, when that came around this time, when that came out this trial, he said, "That's it. She's not guilty. There's no way you don't suck it up for a fellow cop just because it's cold and windy." He's like, "There's no way that's a valid excuse."
Right. If this trial,
they didn't want to find evidence.
it did. If this trial in the last trial didn't prove to the public that she was framed, then you know, like if it didn't prove to anybody following this that she was framed, then you're just either a bad person or stupid or both. Like that's just what it boils down to.
Yeah, and for those of us who are lifelong Massachusetts residents, the thing that, cinches Karen Reed being not guilty or innocent is you look at every other Norfolk County case. You look at the way police have acted for decades.
Sorry. Let me make a correction here real quick. It's Peter from Lawyer on Melanie Little tonight. And then tomorrow it will be David Yannetti and Bob Alessi on Melanie Little.
Well, I'm off the next 2 days. That's great. I'll watch both.
Right on. All right, Mike, I'm going to take the next call. Thanks for calling, buddy. Appreciate
Thanks,
you. All right. Oh, I lost my caller. You're on. Who am I speaking with?
Hi, this is Jennifer.
Hi, Jennifer.
Oh, sorry. You're in my background. I got confused. Oh, I just want to let you know. No, it's Lawyer with Alessi and Yannetti, and then tomorrow night I think they're going to be on Melanie Little.
I just said that.
You said it a little different. You made it kind of seem like you meant Melanie and what's his face were going to be on together. The Lawyer And also, I just wanted to call in.
So no, because somebody in my chat just said that. So it's not Melanie. It's not Lawyer on Melanie tonight.
No, it's Lawyer with the attorneys tonight.
Oh, okay. So
Get it?
Those two guys with Peter tonight, and then those two guys with Melanie Little tomorrow. Got it.
I'm guessing Melanie tomorrow, but I know it's Peter tonight.
Got
with the
it.
Attorneys.
Awesome.
All right, that's it.
All right. Well,
and
thanks.
We freed Karen Reed.
We absolutely freed Karen
And
Reed.
I also think John DePietro had childhood trauma when he was little, and that's why he bullies everybody. I
Yeah.
try to say that. Hopefully he's listening. He needs to stop.
No, yeah, nobody gives a fuck about his little problems, dude. Fuck him. He's an asshole. He's a grown man. He should be fucking take accountability and quit being a dick.
Agree. All right, you have a good one.
You too. Bye-bye. Oh shit, man. All right, hold on. Let me read wow. Yeah, let's go over this for a second. All right, I'm just gonna close the phone lines. Nobody's calling anyway. All right, let's go over this for a second here. Okay. So here is, I guess this is the tweet that people were talking about. Let's see here. So it says here, I can't believe I'm just seeing this now and didn't have it on my bingo card, but Rachel Rollins made a post publicly thanking me for my relentless reporting. I have criticized her extensively over the years to the point where she blocked me, and I can't retweet this. But at least she has the dignity to put aside our differences and say this. Rollins knows a thing or two about my relentless reporting. I broke the story about her road rage incident on Christmas Eve, 2021. I was
That was the reason reporters showed up at her house asking questions, and she flipped out on them. But at least she didn't have me or any other reporters indicted for witness intimidation for doing so. Even she wouldn't go that far. Without Turtle Boy, does anyone know or care about the Karen Reed trial? His relentless reporting in the face of repeatedly being told by law enforcement that he was wrong and there was nothing to see here cracked this case wide open. That should not be lost in all of the reporting. Wow, that's awesome, man. Good for you, Rachel Rollins. Who's Rachel Rollins again? I know she's a DA. And then look at this. Hank Brennan encouraged this and approves of it. Look at this shit. Wow. Look at the insults. Just insults to Paula Prado. Insults. Disgusting. It's not okay at all. She served her civic duty. It's I'm of the opinion that she's more American than any of the people insulting her. She wanted to take a moment to thank all the people who have reached out over the last 5 days to offer support. I am still going through all my messages, and there is no way I can respond to most of them. They aren't enough hours in the day. I read every single message, though, and I appreciate it more than you can imagine. We all did it for Karen Reed and John O'Keefe is my proudest professional life accomplishment. And agreed, man. I'm going to go ahead and give that a like. Didn't convict Karen Reed, exactly. And look at this shit. I mean, look at the abuse towards Paula. We are now on day 5 of this disgusting harassment. Wonder why no other jurors are coming forward and using their names. Who would ever want to be subjected to this? When will Hank Brennan condemn this? And she was so brave. She said, you know what? You're never going to make me afraid. You're never going to make me afraid to speak my mind. And I loved hearing that. So let's see what this one is. This is 17 seconds long.
Family was in pain. She believes it would take reopening the investigation to deliver justice to the O'Keefe family. We did reach out to District Attorney Michael Morrissey multiple times and stopped by his home. He only released a statement saying, quote, the jury has spoken. Family was in pain.
That's fascinating. That's fascinating. And look at fucking cry more, Plevin. So here's Rachel Rollins. I'm going to give Rachel Rollins a follow, bro. So here, after Rachel Rollins' tweet, says here, without Turtle Boy, does anyone know or care about the Karen Reed trial? His relentless reporting in the face of repeatedly being told by law enforcement that he was wrong and there was nothing to see here, cracked this case wide open. That should not be lost in all of the reporting. I'm going to go ahead and give that a like. And I'm going to go ahead and repost it. And Plevin chimes in here and he says, Turtle Boy helped a killer go free and did damage to our justice system. Also, he could get attention and make money. He did not investigating or journalism. Bro, you wrote a book, dude. You can't fucking check for typos. He formed an alliance, a deal, as he called it, with an unscrupulous legal team and a murder defendant. He never once sought truth. He threatened jurors, intimidated witnesses. Now, the truth will come out, Rachel. It's been in the works a while. Trust me, it's coming. Whatever role you played will come out. Batten down the hatches. So now Plevin's trying to intimidate her. You see that? Like with baseless accusations, like whatever role you played, like all of a sudden, just because Rachel Rollins was honest about what this was, sorry, 1 second.
Okay, yeah, she's the former DA for she's the former DA for the entire state of Massachusetts. She's the former U.S. attorney. That's amazing. That's awesome. That's fucking great. Sorry, I'm still learning about your Commonwealth there, guys. But that shit is fantastic, folks. It's absolutely amazing. So, Plevin is like implying that she played a role somehow in all of this, and all she did was tweet her opinion on how helpful Turtle Boy's reporting was and how he deserves credit. And Plevin couldn't stand it. Plevin just lost his shit. That's a meltdown. That's a meltdown. Plevin just had a meltdown. Couldn't handle the fact that Rachel Rollins said something positive about Turtle Boy after Turtle Boy has written articles criticizing her, and couldn't stand the fact that she was the bigger person here and put her differences aside and gave credit where credit was due, because the truth has a way of inspiring people for this. You know what I mean? Truth has a way of inspiring people. You know, this whole situation made me realize something. Like, I had this kind of like a beef with Mike Crawford from Young Jerks from a while back. And, you know, it felt like I was so inspired and I was so happy about this verdict. Robin G gifted 5 memberships. Thank you so much. No, hold on. There we go. Here we go. Hold on. Yeah, like, and the thing is like, something this amazing just kind of lets you know how petty and stupid that kind of shit is. And I was just really inspired. Like, I loved how vibrant the community was, and I loved the vibe that was just pumping through the entire community. And it was like, how can I fucking keep this shit going, man? You know, all right, man, there's no room for any fucking stupid beef, man. Squash that beef, dude, and bring more people together, dude. Why not? Fuck yeah. Because this is way more stupid keeping that going on than, you know, than it's too stupid to not like have something that cool happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, gotta let something that cool happen, man. You know, because at the end of the day, man, I got no fucking problem with Mike Crawford, dude. Like, he's all right, you know. It's like, at the end of the day, just fucking tensions were high, egos were flying around. You know what I'm saying? It was a fucking weird time. So, you know, at the end of the day, like, what we've all collectively achieved makes that just seem so fucking minimal and stupid. So, you know, like, and it's so funny to see, you know, people like who don't see that. Like, look at the whole Rachel Rollins, you know, given this fucking really generous nod to Turtle Boy, considering their history, you know, and look at how it makes people mad. Like, that shit's really funny to me. It makes people upset. Like, seeing people just squash beef, you know, over something much bigger than the two of them. It makes people mad. Like, but it makes a certain kind of person mad. That's what you got to pay attention to. There's only a certain kind of person that would make upset, and that would be a shit heel like Plevin, a fucking cartoon character clown like Plevin. You know what I mean? That's it. Plevin sucks. Plevin fucking sucks. It's just that simple. And anybody follows Plevin is fucking stupid. And anybody who follows fucking Krusty Panties is fucking stupid and an asshole. I mean, it's this, dude. There's no, like, it's not even debatable. These are just shitty people because they keep doing shitty fucking things. And they want shitty things to happen. Like, that's the definition of a shitty person. People who do shitty things who constantly want shitty things to happen. That's it. It's not even like a hard thing to process. Anyways, guys, I am going to wrap this up, man. I'm really grateful to you guys. I love you guys so much. Seriously. Please make sure to hit the like on your way out. It really helps me out and it's free. Make sure to subscribe. That's also free. Make sure to hit the notification bell. And I hope all the new subscribers, I've gotten some new ones over the last few days. I hope you guys are enjoying the channel, and we got a lot more fun stuff to come. So stick with me, hang out. Before I go real quick, yeah, man, the Notebook and Patreon, I want to thank everybody for joining that. It wasn't as funny as I wanted it to be, because the truth is, man, that movie is just fucking terrible, bro. It's just a bad movie, and it sends a bad message. It just does. It just does. And it attracts certain type of person. Like any person who looks at that movie and goes, oh my God, no, man, you got a warped perception of what love is supposed to be, dude. For real. That shit is fucked up. But that's just my opinion, dude. It's just my opinion. You got a fucked up perception of what love's supposed to be. If you're looking at that movie and being like, that is the perfect example of love. Crazy. But we're going to keep it going. It's still in its experimental phases. So make sure, okay, the link is in the description for Patreon. The link is in the description for merch. Okay, got some new merch. Got a new distributor. Getting some emails from people who got their merch. They're real happy with it. I'm really grateful for that. And but the Patreon next week or this week, the end of this week, as long as Mazza can do it, we're gonna set a time. As long as Mazza can do it, Mazza Media, my homie, as long as he can do it, him and I are gonna ruin Point Break for you. Okay, we're tag teaming this shit. Okay, it'll be the first time he fucking ruined it as a guest, and that's what we're gonna do. I ruined it for you. Yes. Fucking love it. Yeah, toxicity, bro, all through the Notebook, bro. Fucking more depressing than it was fun. But Point Break, that's gonna be fun, especially with Mazza. We're gonna have a real good time. And then we hang out a little bit afterwards and just have fun. We watched some SNL skits afterwards and we had some fun, sipping a little wine. We had a good time. But anyways, guys, that's going to be it for me. I love you guys very much, and we will do this again very soon, my friends.